Hello everyone, this will start a new series on the channel. You can submit your ideas for characters for the series in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe please. Now, to the story of the Chronicles of Dr. Madenstein. Dear Chronicles, I, the great Dr. Madenstein, will be chronicling my discoveries and creations in this series of journals or chronicles. My goal is to become the greatest mad scientist in the world. My somewhat origin is I found a magic book and I discovered how to create monsters from it. I realized that I can use technology and magic to become the greatest mad scientist in the world. So I started creating experiments in my lab at a college, but it kind of got out of hand and I kind of blew up the building. I was able to get a few lore creations to safety, but some of them turned good against me. Now they became superheroes. Anyway, their group is known as the Scare Squad, or something stupid. I'll talk about them and how stupid they are in a future entry. Anyway, I think I'll talk about some of my creations which I've made so far in this entry. And I'll talk about my lowly, pathetic assistant, Frogor. Anyway, I eventually found a new lab overlooking a small village of which I'm now seeking to constantly terrorize. Anyway, I was able to get the good doctor to look so good thanks to using basic shapes. A square for the face, some circles for buttons, a square for the beaker, straight lines for the sleeves, a rectangle for the end of the sleeve, a circle as cufflinks, and hands. Anyway, back to the story. With my interdimensional wristwatch from a jigger, I am able to travel the multiverse. With this device, I will be able to catalog my monsters and store all my information on them on my wrist. Anyway, as for that magic book of which I mentioned before, it was known as the Monsternomicon. Stealing this book from my colleague at the institute was perfect. Thank everything I turned him to stone and then I broke him. Anyway, here's the finished picture of Dr. Madenstein. Anyway, my loyal assistant Frogor. I found him in a swamp. Apparently it was some sort of genetic experiment gone wrong, or he was some sort of little biological entity or oddity. Anyway, he's a pretty good assistant. His long tongue is great for grabbing things off the high shelves. Also, he's great for getting rid of flies. He's really handy when I need someone to quote the greatest mad scientists of our pasts, Igor, throw the switch! Moments. Anyway, on the offhand, he has been able to create a few of his own monsters, but they're mostly completely and utterly inferior to mine. Take for instance the monster in this picture. Its square-headedness has no electric bolts on the sides of its neck, and it's completely and utterly boring. Been done who knows how many times if I'm being honest. And I thought that frog a frog about creativity. The power source is predictable too. Lightning and electric eels. Anyway, I think he called it Frogostein's monster. Or Tadpolinstone's monster. Or what was that frog thinking? At least the skin color was right for Frogor. Green like him. At least it's on brand. No wait, there were electric devices in the neck. Still so primitive. Anyway, I had nothing else to talk about Frogor and his failure. I thought that Frogor would be quite interesting. I thought a frog version of an Igor would be a pretty interesting concept. Anyway, the picture of Frogor is now almost complete. Enjoy the show. A nice little tip, the background is pretty good looking. Feel free to comment about this in the comments. Anyway, Isaac, right, Dr. Madenstein, sometimes like to improve on existing monsters. Take this, a zombie. Pathetic and slow and stupid. But with my technology, I have upgraded this pathetic excuse for a rotting corpse and turned it into a mechanical part rotting corpse. With this technology, which has been grafted into its flesh and pieces, it is now an unstoppable, brain-eating monstrosity. But it does have one tiny itty-bitty weakness. The cybernetics are on a battery. I've given it a telescopic eye. It can now eat the intelligence of a computer, like how it eats brains, and it has a zombifying blaster. It mostly works as a dumbness ray. I basically found this zombie after I was testing a reanimation formula. Basically, it reanimates zombies, but it's a little problematic. There is the only thing which is weird about this Zomborg, it's that now whenever it says brains, it now says brains. Due to a slight problem of the whole whatever is left of the zombie's brain mixing with the voice box, and it's now stuck on brains. How extensive for the cybernetics? I've pretty much taken off his entire top bit of his head, his entire at least an entire quarter of his skull is now face is now gone. One of its arms is now gone, and I've practically replaced most of the center body with mechanical parts. Also, I've replaced one of the legs with a robot leg. I'm not sure if it's more machine than zombie or more zombie than machine. Anyway, here is the Zomborg. Brains. My next monster I thought would be quite funny. Anyway, behold, the Headless Horseman! This one actually came to me, if you can believe it. He wanted to have a head which would make him more deadly, to be honest. So I gave him a bomb for a head because bomb-headed horseman kinda sounds really good. If you're an evil genius. I put a portal on his neck where his head should be, which allows the bomb to constantly respawn. I didn't give him a voice box, I just gave him a recording of evil laughter. I even supercharged his horse to make it breathe fire and have flaming red eyes. Now as for this one, I really wanted to do a drawing of a famous character. And I thought the Headless Horseman would be a good idea. Now back to the story. I even gave the horseman a bag of tricks so he can use it to terrify the townspeople. He was able to rain terror from the sky as he rolled into town, leaving fiery destruction wherever he went. But apparently those creations of mine, which turned to become superheroes, were able to stop him on occasion. He doesn't work with me. In fact, at times, he's against me. Never mind the fact that without me, he wouldn't be as terrifying as he is now. That ungrateful horse rider. He should probably just go run in a horse race or get run over by a horse. Anyway, the design of the horses looks pretty good. In moments, it really does look like the horse is on fire, or even is made out of fire, with the red eyes, and I think I made the mane to look like fire itself. The background, I think, fits the horseman. A dirt road in the middle of the countryside makes sense for a horseman to be riding out on. Anyway, here's the bomb-headed horseman. Enjoy this video. Anyway, I think the little houses I put on the hill actually look pretty good. Anyway, here are the last creations of this journal, or chronicle. The Brothers Grimm. A group of skeleton brothers. Two of them are twins. One is short, but the shortest one is the eldest. The tallest one is the youngest of the group. The tallest one has been known to make deals. Some say that if you could beat him in a game of dominoes, you would be spared their wrath. But if you cheat, you would feel their wrath 100 times worse. Other defining traits: their eyes are black but have white pupils. The twins have orange on their clothes. The short one has blue. The tall one has red on his clothes. Pretty useful those lot are. They can be counted on to do any task, although at times they have been known to have their own agendas. I didn't create them, I ran into them. They apparently possess some weird magic, able to summon a few more skeletons to aid them in their hours of need. They aren't easy to defeat as a group. Anyway, I use circles and squares to make the twins' heads from a design point. No, wait. When they are powered up, their eyes change color. The ones which look exactly the same turn orange. The old short one's eyes are blue, with white pupils in the middle. The tall young one's eyes are red with white pupils. Anyway, I think that covers everything. So, have fun everyone. Like, share, and subscribe, and share with your friends this video. And have a nice Halloween. Happy Halloween! Stick around for the end of where you will see the finished pictures in order.